Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We are still coloring in the Adventures of Pinnochio, and as you can see I finished all the greenery that we were working on last time. So today I'm going to try to get as many of the flowers going as I can, and possibly the trees, at least show the colors. But I'm going to do the rose bush for sure, because I was going to try to do them in a couple different colors, hopefully. So it took me a couple days to get back to this. Well, I did finish coloring the green, and I just finished that, I think it was yesterday, it might have been the day before. But then I've been trying to decide what colors to go with for this part. And honestly, I forgot even what I was looking at. And that was for the tree, which is up here. But I'm missing one of the colors for that, so this will be interesting. Alright, so for the roses, let me see if I can get it at a better angle for me. This is Lavender PC 934. I don't know. There. I was picking up a weird reflection. So I'm going to come into the center on a couple of the roses with this. And I'm going to cross my fingers that they work out. Because this is a different color combo for me that I haven't used, but I wanted to work a little bit of lavender in on this side. Well, some type of purple anyway. And I went with lavender because it's got more of a pinkish tone, so I thought it would work. So fingers crossed, and if it doesn't work, it won't be the end of the world. I know I didn't even look at this yesterday, I know, but I've still been thinking about what colors do I want to do on blah blah blah, and let's see, I don't remember. Anyway, I had decided even which roses on this bush I was going to do what colors, and I don't even remember that. So it's like starting all over again. I had pulled the pencils the same day that I finished the greenery. I pulled the pencils that I was thinking about using, and then I put them in the bottom of the zipper binder and zipped it all up, and so I didn't even look at them yesterday. And so then whenever I opened it today and just now pulled this handful out, aside from seeing that I was missing a brown, hopefully I stuck it in a different spot, because I know a couple of them kind of slid out whenever I closed the binder, and I just slid them back in there without opening it back up, so I may have just missed the spot. Anyway, I put them in, I tried to put them in the order that I was gonna use them, but I don't even remember which ones I put together now. This is sad. Wait, did I write them down? Lavender. Oh, I did. Rose. Okay, so pink rose, and that is PC 1018. And that is what I'm putting on the rest of this rose. And I could see more of a difference, like, when I was trying them out than I can now. As far as, like, I could see more of a, that the purple was definitely way darker than the pink. But I can't really tell that now. And initially I was going to use a cream on the very edges of this, but I've changed my mind on that, so I'm going to use white instead. Make sure I don't have any color on that. So I'm just coming in with this white and going around the very edges. And I may come in at the very end, but I'll probably forget. But sorry, I didn't realize that was off frame. I noticed I did that on the last video too and didn't catch it, so I don't know how long it was out. I apologize. But right here I have a little bit of green coming across the line. So I may come in with the gel pen and fix that later, but it's pretty small, so I may just leave it like that. And then I'm trying to at least keep it in frame this time. On this one, I'm just going to go around the edges with the white as well. So hopefully this doesn't throw it off too bad from the rest of the flowers, because that may have been why I was going to go in with the cream, is because of the rest of the roses. Who knows? That I really don't like. Where that green is on there. That's not a great idea. There we go. So this is an eraser. It's the Faber-Castell Perfection. And usually it works pretty well, but I have gone in and burnished this already with the white. So I don't know how much of that I'm going to be able to pull off with it, but I have even used it on, like, after gel pen dries and stuff. And it takes the majority of it off. So I really like this eraser. And I'm going to go ahead and use it on this one now that I've got it out, because it appears to have worked fairly well. Okay. This is just the pink rose, and I'm going in and filling that in a little bit where I took some of the color off with the eraser. And then the white again. And I think that looks a lot better. You may not be able to tell the difference, but yeah, I can. And I'm the one that sees it up close and personal, so. Okay, so I'm going to put oh no wait, I'm not going to put the lavender down yet, because I have one more rose to do with that. It's this one back here. I didn't realize I had forgotten that I had a odd number of flowers, so I'm doing 3 in this color, and 2 in another, and 2 in another. I'm really glad to see that on that page that I've got tucked behind here, that I wrote down what blends I was using, but I actually wrote down 3 colors, which I guess if you count white, I technically did use 3, so I guess they did all fit. I was going to say they didn't really fit on the petals, but technically I guess they did. And I know everybody uses a different technique when they color, but I like to start with the darkest parts, and then I go out to the lightest, and then if I need to, I come back in and shade some more with the darker one. Now I'm going to sharpen this pencil just a little bit. Because I'm going from a long point to a short point, I just use that on the 5 setting for now, and then I'll slowly bring it down. That way I don't like waste a ton of the core as I'm going down to the shorter point. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's how I'm doing it. Because I was initially not doing that, and it seemed to be wasting a ton of the core. I was like, oh, it was almost painful to have to sharpen it. And then I put my white down somewhere. Okay, and that gets those ones done. Oh, sorry about how loud that is. It's real close to the microphone. And then for the next ones, I am going to use Nectar, which also needs to be sharpened. I really, on these particular books, the paper that they use in these books, I really like how Prismacolors color in them. So I do use other pencils, but I will probably stick to Prismacolors when I'm working in these books. That's subject to change though. I forgot that the Blick Studios work they work similarly, so I may use those sometimes because they do have some different colors. So today I was working with the Staedtler triangular pencils. I don't know if any of you have tried those. I almost did a video review of them, but then I didn't know whether to go ahead and do that or not since I was in the middle of this color along, or if that would be confusing. I have some book flip throughs that I need to do too, so anyway, I tested those out today, and I like them, but I don't know. Like, I like some of the colors that come in the set. I love the triangular shape, how that feels to hold when you're coloring it. So those are kind of the pros. But they are not very pigmented. Like, they remind me of Marco Raffines in the pigmentation. The leads are a little bit softer. The points break off pretty easily because they're kind of crumbly. But they do blend and shade well. And layering is okay with them. Let me think. However, they don't have any color names or numbers or any identifying marks on them at all. So that's kind of irritating. And they come in a really weird order in the trays. So I put them in a different order, and then, I swatched them. Then I put them in a different order, and then I swatched them in that order and numbered them so that I can use them that way. But I can't really use them for like a color along or anything, so that's why I'm just not sure how much I'm going to use those. I don't know if I'll get rid of them or if I'll just use them, and I don't know. I'm undecided, but I'm currently using them on a page right now, so I'll probably try them on a couple of different papers before making that final decision. Okay, so that was Nectar, and now I'm going to go in with Deco Pink, which is PC 1014. I had a rough time editing that last video. My phone was pretty well tapped out on the memory thing, and yeah, I had to really work with it to get the videos combined, because one of them had gone over just a couple of minutes before I stopped it for whatever reason. I don't remember why I had to stop it. I remember that I knocked over the tripod and all that mess, but I think I went to get a drink anyway whenever I started it. So I started that back up. So it had that 2 extra minutes, and then it went for its 30 whatever minutes that it goes, and stopped again, and it did it itself, switched and recorded like another 7 minutes after that. So it was in 4 sections, and I had to put them all together, but I couldn't do them all at one time because my phone didn't have enough memory. So I had to do each little section at a time. So now I'm going in with cream on these 2 instead of white to go around the edges with. Oh, I really like how these look. I mean, I like the lavender ones, but I kind of wish I would have done 3 with this nectar color instead, but oh well. I really needed to do the 3 in the purple because my next 2 are going to be in pink, and they'll have the cream edges too. I was busy talking, so I didn't even pay attention to what I did what on, so I think I got all the edges though. Anyway, so since I'm going to do a couple in pink, I think that's probably why. Oh, I really wish that I could like ask you a question and then you could answer me, because right now I don't remember if I went around this one in the Deco Pink, so I'm just gonna do that just in case I didn't. And I just can't tell because those two colors blend so well. But it didn't hurt to go around it again anyway. But I do know that I didn't go over it with cream. I can definitely tell that. Okay, and then I'll do those last two with Pink Rose, which we also used in the lavender ones. But we'll put this pink rose, or I'll put this pink rose in the inner parts, and I already messed up on that one, but oh well. I don't know how much of that TV background noise you can hear. I know in the last one, when I listened back to a few parts of it, you could really hear the wood burner, the pipe popping and stuff as it was heating up before I said anything about it, and it did not sound as loud to me in like my normal ears as it sounded on the video, so that was kind of funny. So I don't know if the TV picks up like that or not. I'm trying to wipe my eraser off because it's got green on it. I don't want to, well, technically I'm erasing more green anyway, so that probably would have been okay. I think just a little up there. Apparently I skipped a lot whenever I was working on that bush. I think that was one of the, I don't remember, that might have been that was the beginning of my last video, that's why. So, hopefully the rest of them don't, like on the other flowers, don't have green skips on them. When I got my big pack of Prismacolors, which was at least a couple years ago. I don't even remember. I've had them for a long time. Anyway, it came, and I should have like called the company and said something, but it took me forever to even figure out what was missing because I didn't know like how to look that info up or anything. I do now, but I didn't then. Anyway, it came with 2 Deco Peaches and no Pink Rose. And so I had them almost 2 years before I ever went to the store and just bought the Pink Rose. And now it's such a pretty shade of pink that like I just thought, well, I've got plenty of other pinks, it doesn't matter. And that's probably true, but it is its own shade, and I really like it. So I'm glad I went ahead and got that one. But I also figured, well, Deco Peach, that's something I'm going to use a lot anyway, so it didn't hurt to have 2 of those. But now I've gone through almost one of the Deco Peaches, so I've got the other one ready. Okay, so that was the Pink Rose, and now I'm going to be using the Deco Pink after I sharpen it. I'm rough on pencils. I like sharp points. Okay. let's see, that goes on this one. And these are very pink in comparison. And I will be adding some cream on the edge of these as well. I just think white would just be a little too light for these because they're so light to begin with. I don't know. That didn't make a lot of sense. But I kind of wanted them to be a creamy looking rose, so I really should have left a little bit more space for the cream anyway. That's what I meant. What was too light for what I wanted it to look like. I'm too tired to be doing this. It's like bedtime. So sorry if I'm not making any sense. I get really rambly when I'm tired. But I also have trouble falling asleep, so making these kind of help. I just smeared green onto that flower using the cream. So I think these roses are just meant to have a little bit of green in them. The way I keep trying to put it in there. I'm sorry if I am saying sorry like a million times tonight too, but for shaking the camera is what I was talking about. It's really jostly tonight. Okay, so that gets those roses. If I knew where my second brown was, I would go ahead and do that tree, but I don't. So let me grab my first brown and lay that back here so I don't lose it. And then I'm going to flip my pages and see what we got back here. Well, that's interesting. So, got more browns. That's probably for the tree, and I bet that's for those flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and do this tree since I found them. And if I run short on time, which it looks like I probably will, then I will just name those colors and do like I did last time, where I just kind of danced around showing what I was using on each section. I forgot to change my number before I sharpened that, but oh well, we will live. It just looks funny. And on these, sometimes I do them where that's probably what I'm going to do, so I'll just, yeah, we'll see. So this is Dark Umber, which is PC947. And I am doing the bottom part of the branches with that, and I'll probably do a little bit on the top. Oh, my ear itches. Right on the edge. My dog is making noises in his sleep, if you hear that. I don't really know what he's doing in there. He must be dreaming. Yeah, so I will also come along the top, but a little bit thinner. But I needed to go underneath these leaves and stuff, shade around them. Sometimes I just leave the top of the branch to be the lightest part. but apparently not today. And then I'm going to come under this. Sometimes I do this and sometimes I don't. That's the part I was starting to talk about earlier and then didn't. But yeah, sometimes I do these little twists that are in here. Slightly different. But I use the same colors. I just do them like they're laying on the top. And sometimes I like it, and then sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like doing that today, and I'll just do it all as a solid branch. Okay, so the next color is dark brown. And this one, I'm working up from the darkest spot. I really wish I could zoom that into this. I did try to set it a little bit closer, but it kept tipping over forward, so I have to have it further back like that if I don't want it to fall down. I need to find a weight or something to attach to the back end of it to make it heavier than my phone. I could bring it up there between each section. I'll do that next time. Okay, so that is that part before I add the lightest shade in, and I'm getting ready to work on this little piece right here. So I'm going to use the chocolate for the more shaded part of that. So that it kind of looks like a vine growing around the branch is my idea there. Because around here, I'm always forever, every year, pulling vines out of the trees. And one year I missed. For a long time I didn't do it. My husband did it, but now I do it. Anyway, one year we didn't pull any out, and the next year was horrible. And so some of them, and it does leave a pretty look. It's just the vines will choke the tree out, And so some of them got way out of hand, and it ended up taking me a couple years to catch back up. I got most of them done the first year, but I missed a couple. So anyway, the ones that I missed, they have the vines grown into the branches like that. And let's see, that was, yeah. So this is chocolate, and I know usually I use light umber for like the lightest part, but I guess I'm deciding to go with chocolate this time. I guess I'm just missing it, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and get, oh, I know what I'll get. I'll get the putty beige. That does really well for highlighting in the trees. So this orange, the chocolate, I'm just straight coloring over what I already did. It just kind of adds a little bit of warmth to it. I don't really know how to explain that. Oof. I also can't see what I'm doing, so I don't like that I didn't have that pulled out. But hey, good guess on the first pull there. So this is putty beige that I am going over this with, and yeah, that's not turning out that great. So I'm going to go back over the top of this when I'm done there were a lot of white spaces showing on that whenever I was done with it, so it'll turn out fine in the end, but okay. I almost slid my hand across that, which you talk about smearing. That would have done the job. Okay. So I'm going back in here with the dark, I don't know if it's umber or amber. I really don't. I just call it amber and umber. I call it both things since I don't know. So you'll hear it pronounced both ways. It's the same color no matter how I pronounce it. So what happened there, since this is one of the combos that I didn't write down. And on this lower branch, I wouldn't have used the chocolate like I did. It was apparently intended for the viney looking things. But, oh well. So that fixed that little situation, and then on this vine part, I'm just going to go over the edge again with a little bit of the dark brown. And I will bring this up there so that you can see it. And this is how I will be finishing the rest of this tree, but I will do it off camera. Except on the main part of the tree, I won't be using the chocolate like I did the first time because that was just a mistake. That's not it. There, I was looking for a brush because I had, some messes happening. You know what, before I bring that up there, I will just go ahead and finish this part of the branch out. Let me slide my paper under there. I spin my pencil frequently when I'm coloring to keep the point, although I don't know why, because I still sharpen all the time, but it's just a habit. So the funny thing, I don't really do it with, normal markers, like the bigger ones that are rectangular shaped or whatever, like Caliards or something. But if I'm using Sharpies, or this is dark brown, if I'm using round markers like Sharpies or Crayola or something like that, I will continue to flip them around in my hands too, just like I do my pencils. And I do the same thing with gel pens, and it's just funny to me because even whenever I do it with my gel pens, I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, you're not going to keep your point any sharper. But I can't help it. I think it's because I colored with pencils the longest, and so that's a habit that I'm into. My browns get quite a bit of use. Like, none of my browns are very long. But there's just a lot of call for brown in coloring books. So now, see, since I didn't use the chocolate after I told you I wasn't going to use it, it looks this part looks different now than that part. So I'm gonna lightly go over that with chocolate. And I mean light. Like it was just enough to bring a little bit of that yellowish tint into the highlight. So that is what that's going to look like. And I will just finish the rest of that tree off camera. And now I'm going to flip this thing upside down like I did before to do some of these flowers up here. And what did you do, Blossom? Oh, I flipped to get the putty beige. So here's my pencils. And on this one, the other day I missed a little stem right there. So I just did that, just like I did these stems down here. But if you did it, then you probably figured out that I missed that anyway. I don't know what I thought I was going to do with these colors, with those flowers. Sometimes I make myself go, So this is orange, PC 918, if you can see that. And putting it right in the middle. I don't know if you can hear that train, but it is honking like crazy out there. Oh, and then this is Poppy Red at PC 922. And I am just hoping that whenever I hold those pencils up, that I'm holding them with the words upright to you guys. All kinds of bars on that flower box. Okay, and then I have yellowed orange, which is PC 1002. And then I'm just going to grab the cream as soon as I remember which part I put that in for the middle of this flower. Then to just kind of hit the edges of these a little bit, although I mostly got them with that yellowed orange, but just to make sure it's all blended in well. And that is what those flowers will look like. I may come back to those if I have time, but it looks like I'm running short. I've only got about 15 minutes left. So at this tree, there's like hardly any branches. So I am going to do those in that, I already forgot the names. I knew what I was going to do though. in the dark umber and the dark brown with the putty beige, and then a very, very light layer of the chocolate like I did on the main part of the big tree. And then let me put these away, possibly. Let's see what we're pulling out next. All right. So these ones, I'm using Dahlia Purple PC1009. Time just flies whenever I'm coloring, and I don't realize how long I'm doing it. And then I look up at the counter on my phone, and I'm like, well, either I'm going to have to finish up, or it's going to cut me off. Okay, and then Hot Pink, PC993, just in case that's too reflective or something. And that's what I'm going to be doing the edges of these flowers. And now that I'm seeing it, I'm going to leave a little bit of lightness on the edge so that I can come back and hit that with white. And I should have sharpened this one, but I just didn't want to take the time. Because I knew I was running short, but I definitely should have. Now my question is, do I want to stick with white for the edge or deco pink? I always have these decisions. Because deco pink makes a really nice highlight too. Not yellow though. And if you wanted a little more definition in here for the second petal, you could use a little bit of black real lightly just along the line there, and then fade out with your purple. Just to add a little bit more depth there. But I like it like that, so I'm not using that. Oh, here's my white. I forgot that I had it in a different spot. And plus, adding this white on the edge helps too. Or deco pink, whichever color you ended up going with, if you're even coloring this page. Or if you're not coloring this page but you're using the color combo, deco pink would be a good highlight for it as well. But I really like my white pencil anyway, so that's what I'm going to stick with. And here I am blending with my finger, which is something relatively new actually that I've started doing. I don't really know why. Okay, so I'm going to put those away momentarily, and that is what those flowers will look like when completed. And then we just have these, which don't have the double layers, they have single layers. So, I grabbed canary yellow for that. And I'm going to use cream as well. So these are pretty simple to do because I only have 2 colors. And there's hardly any parts to it. So that's nice and easy. So So we have the roses, the tree, these flowers up here, and then those down there. And I'm hoping that once we get all the walls added in, they all play nice together. So the next time we come back, I'll be doing the flower pots, and then we'll start on this building, whether it be the door or what, I don't know yet, but we'll get the flower pots out of the way first and go from there. Thanks for joining me. I'll see y'all next time.